All right, Algebra 2, welcome back. I hope you had a good break. We're going to just go right into some new math. Some of you know what this is, some of you do not. We are going to be learning something called function notation. And it's essentially the same thing we've been doing. It's just another way to represent equations. So whereas you're used to seeing y equals 2x, I'm going to put it over here. You don't have to write this down. Where you're used to seeing y equals 2x, you can, of course, write it in function notation, which looks like this, which is f of x, meaning this is a function of x. So all this means is we have this big equation, f of x, and what we're plugging into it is, in fact, our x values. So it's kind of stuff you've seen before. It's not a big deal. So I'm going to go ahead in this note down here where it says f of x equals 2x. It's the same thing as saying y equals 2x. It's just a more precise way of talking to each other. And the reason why we care about this is because there's our instructions embedded in this. So whenever you see things written down, it should trigger in your head, hey, I've got to do something. And I'm going to show you what that means in a second. So for instance, we're using this equation right here, f of x equals 2x. And the question given to us in the notes is, using the equation above, find f of 6. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, look, it's like this. Any time we have this f of x equals 2x business, the x in this case is what you would call the variable, the placeholder. That's what that's where a number goes. That's where something you want to insert goes into that x position. So if we started at f of x equals 2x, and then I came down here and I said, hey, y'all, I want you to do f of 6 instead. Referencing this exact same equation, referencing the equation, how would you write this? Well, you would literally just write this down, f of 6 equals, and now everywhere you would have seen an x, you're going to go ahead and plug in that 6. So it's pretty simple. I know most of you already have this down, but for those who it never stuck for whatever reason, now's the chance. And you end up with that. Technically, this says 2 times x up here. So when I plug this in, this is going to be 2 times 6, which gives me 12 for my entire answer. So my entire answer is f of 6 equals 12. So then what does that look like? Well, believe it or not, what that ends up being is your x in this case is going to be a 6, and then your y is going to end up being your 12. So even though we have it labeled as f of 6 equals 12, you are going to think of it still as your y value. So when it's all said and done, you'll be able to write a point like this that is 6, 12. So basically the same thing, more or less, just notation. That's it. And for anyone looking for anything deeper than that, there's nothing deeper here. There's no mystery. There's no hidden anything. This is just how you do it. So now look at this one down here where it says, using the equation above, if f of x equals 6, find x. So now it's not telling you to plug in 6 over here. It's not telling you to plug in 6 over here. It is telling you that y is equal to 6. This is the same thing as saying, hey, y is equal to 6. So then how do I solve it up there? Well, check how I would write this down. I would write 6 equals 2x. And remember, for those who are like, where'd you get that? We're dealing with our original equation up here. Our original equation is right there. And it basically is the same thing as at y equals 2x is what that's saying. F of x equals 2x. And then you come down here, using the equation above, f of x equal to 6, find x. This is saying f of x equals 6, which means it's the same thing as y equals 6. You're going to plug that in where you find f of x. It's a little confusing. A lot of y'all will, where you make the mistakes, you will go ahead and plug in the 6 for x, and that's not accurate at all. We're going to do a lot of these examples today, so you have plenty of time to get this right. So don't panic if you're not doing well at this. And then when it's all said and done, your x is equal to 3 on that problem. So when my y is equal to 6, my x is equal to 3. And that's basically it. I mean, there's not much more for it on this. I'm going to go ahead and work examples on this next page so you can see it. Okay. Actually, I'll do this on another video.